Okay, so matter is that substance. Matter is the substance, in fact, you can say, that occupies space and has mass, means that has volume and has mass. Okay, and we discussed about all the properties of matter in the previous class, previous lesson also. The different classification of matter we discussed, already we have discussed different classification of matter. Okay, and physically and chemically, matter can be classified physically also, and it can be classified chemically also. Okay, physically, matter is of 5 different types: solid, liquid, gaseous, plasma state, and Bose-Einstein condensate state, well known to us. But when we talk about the chemical classification of matter, chemically matter can be classified into 2 groups: pure matter and impure matter. Pure and impure. Okay, just try to understand very clearly, all of you. Pure matter and impure matter. And when we talk about pure matter, pure substance, okay, it means that it is either an element or a compound. Okay, just listen what is written over here. Pure substances and mixture. If a matter is not uniform throughout, then it is a heterogeneous mixture, well known to us. That is the two different types of mixtures: heterogeneous mixture and homogeneous mixture, as we discussed yesterday also. And if it is uniformly distributed, then it is always called homogeneous mixture. Clear? Homogeneous matter can be separated by physical means, and then that matter is a mixture. For example, sugar in water. Okay, solution is made and we evaporate it. What will happen? Water will get evaporated, leaving behind sugar. So we can separate sugar from water. Okay, then this is said to be a mixture. If we can separate it by physical means, then we can say that it is a mixture. But, always remember, but if a homogeneous matter cannot be separated by physical means, then it is said to be a pure substance. Very carefully, just see, everything is written stepwise over here. Okay, if homogeneous matter cannot be separated by physical means, for example, water is taken, only water is taken. Can you separate the component of water by physical process? You cannot. Physical process means what? Evaporation, condensation, or you can say crystallization, distillation, hand picking, magnetic separation. We cannot separate a pure substance by physical means. So those homogeneous matter which cannot be separated by physical means, then it is called pure substance. Okay. Now pure substance is classified into element and compound. As I told you just now, element and compound. Now what is the difference over here? If a pure substance can be decomposed into something else, decomposed here means chemical reaction taking place. On chemical decomposition, if a pure substance breaks down to form its constituents, then it is called a compound. A simple example I'll explain over here: water. Electrolysis of water, you all have studied in standard 8 only. Electrolysis of water. When electricity is passed through acidified water, water gets broken down into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas, a well-known fact. Then what is water? Water is homogeneous, that we all know, because we cannot see hydrogen and oxygen over there. We cannot see. In water, hydrogen and oxygen gases are not visible. There is a chemical combination. Okay, and we can decompose into hydrogen and oxygen gas only by chemical means, only by decomposition reaction. Then it is called a compound. And if a pure substance cannot be decomposed into something else, then it is called an element. Just see how Carefully they have defined element, iron. You take iron, heat it or pass electricity through it or do any chemical process, whatever you want. Can you get other than anything other than that iron? You won't get. You take iron rod, start cutting it into smaller pieces. You melt it. Finally, you will get iron only, either in the molten form or anyhow. But you will get iron only. Okay, so this is actually pure substance means. Listen very carefully. Pure substances and mixtures. Okay, if matter is not uniform throughout, then it is heterogeneous mixture. No problem here. Heterogeneous, sand in water. Okay, no uniform composition is there. If it is uniform throughout, then it is homogeneous. And homogeneous is now classified into all these. Homogeneous matter can be separated by physical means, then it is mixture. Physical process, by evaporation, by condensation, by centrifugation, or by any such thing, any such process, magnetic separation, sublimation. If we can separate its component, then it is a mixture. If it cannot be separated by physical means, then it is a pure substance. Okay, now a pure substance that can be decomposed into something else, that undergoes chemical process, chemical decomposition, and then form something else, break down into something else. Decomposed means breaking down, splitting into something else, then it is called a compound. And if cannot be decomposed into something else, then the substance is an element. Okay, listen very carefully. Moving on to the next one. Okay, everyone has to be, just see over here how we will identify. Very beautifully a chart has been made. Matter is, first you have to see, is it uniform throughout? No. Like sand in water, chalk powder in water, then it is heterogeneous mixture. Mixture word we have used because already the different components are visible to our through our naked eyes. Now the next question arises over here. If yes, then it is homogeneous. But we will not write here homogeneous mixture. What we have to find out, does it have a variable composition? क्या उसमें कुछ different चीज present है? That we have to see. Like if water is there, we have hydrogen also, oxygen also in the formula, H2O, NaCl, sodium also, chlorine also. Okay, Fe. So that you have to find. Variable composition here means that two different substances are added, or only one substance is there. Just see, only one substance is there. Variable composition that can be changed. For example, listen very carefully. Variable composition actually here means that we can add 1 spoon of sugar to water also. We can add 5 spoons of sugar to water also. In air, okay, the presence of water vapor, the percentage of water vapor varies from place to place. Variable, different. It can change according to the need. There is no fixed ratio. Okay. If the answer comes no, then it is pure substance. And if the answer comes yes, then it is a homogeneous mixture. Okay. If the answer comes yes, it has variable composition like air, like sugar in water, then your answer will be yes. And yes means it is a homogeneous mixture. Okay. This part also separated out. Heterogeneous mixture separated here. Okay, and then homogeneous mixture separated here. Now we are left with pure substance. Okay, how to find out whether it is an element or a compound? A simple question. Can it be separated into simpler substances? क्या इसको हम break कर सकते हैं और simpler substances में? अगर yes तो compound है, अगर no तो element है. See, you have to, it will take a little time, but you can understand it very carefully. Okay, and once you will understand it, there won't be any problem in identification of the given matter, whether it is homogeneous or heterogeneous. Okay, if it is mixture or element or compound. Okay, and in the second chapter, many questions are there related to this, that you have to identify whether the given substance is a mixture or element or compound. And if it is mixture, is it a homogeneous mixture or a heterogeneous mixture? So all these things you will have to answer later on. Okay. Now, moving on to the next one. Characteristic of pure and impure substance. What is the characteristic? A pure substance, for example, whether it is an element or a compound, whether it is iron or water, boils at a constant temperature. That is, it has a fixed boiling point. Okay. But if we'll add NaCl to water, NaCl, sodium chloride to water, salt to water, or sugar to water, there will be a change in the boiling point. The temperature will change. Okay, so this is what is written over here. An impure liquid could boil higher than the expected boiling point and over a range of temperature. So this is how we can identify the given substance is pure or not. Okay, the first point, pure substance has fixed boiling point. Okay, next, a pure substance has fixed melting point. It melts sharply at the melting point. We all know melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. Boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. This is fixed. But can we write the boiling point of salt solution or sugar solution? Or can we write the melting point of ice cream? Ice cream where milk is present or many substances are present. We cannot. Okay, so this is the basic difference over here that you have to understand. Moving on to the next, element. What do you mean by element? An element consists of unique type of atoms. If it is iron, it will be all atoms of iron present over here. If it is sodium, all atoms of sodium is present over there. Okay, if it is zinc, all atoms of zinc is only present over there, nothing else. Okay, so that is what it is written over here, that element consists of unique type of atoms. Next, element cannot be further broken into simple substance by any chemical or physical means. Physically also, if we are keep on cutting what, aluminium foil, just simple example, take a small piece of aluminium foil, tear it, again tear it, again tear it, get the smallest piece. Will it change? It will always remain aluminium only. It cannot change. Okay, neither chemically. Chemically means you go for any chemical reaction. It will not undergo decomposition reaction. It will not be broken down into more simpler substance. अगर उससे कुछ मिलेगा भी तो वो सिर्फ atom, उसी element का वही particular atom मिलेगा. Now, at present, there are about 118 elements known. Each element is given a unique chemical symbol, either one letter or two letters. That everything you know. So we are just revising this. Elements are building blocks of matter. We all know that every matter is made up of atoms or molecules. So finally, element only is involved over there. Okay. Now, just see example is written. A sample of lead atoms. All atom in the sample consist of lead. So the substance is homogeneous. You just see over here, all having same figure. Same lead. This also lead, this also lead, this also lead. All are lead atoms. So in lead element, all the atoms are of lead only. In the same way, a sample of chlorine atoms, all the atoms in the sample of chlorine will be of chlorine only. That is why I see the difference in the color. This is chlorine, consider it is blue, and this is red color. Remember, lead atoms is represented by red color and chlorine atoms are represented by blue color. Remember this because we will be using it again for explanation. Okay, just see that an element, earth crust consists of 5 main elements and human body consists mostly of 3 main elements. Earth crust, we have oxygen, calcium, iron, aluminium, other silicon also. And our human body, we have maximum oxygen, then hydrogen and carbon are there in little amount, and then some other elements are also present in our body, like sodium is also there, potassium is also there, because they are all constituting our body parts. Next, Classification of elements as metals and non-metals. This you all have studied last year also. That elements are broadly classified into metals and non-metals. See, in this chapter, you have to, at the last, you will see in your textbook that elements are broadly classified into metals, and in this chapter also it is given in the last. Elements are broadly classified into metals and non-metals. Okay, you all know all these properties. Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Non-metals are generally bad conductor of heat and electricity. But you know, graphite is a non-metal that can conduct electricity. It is a form of carbon. Well known to you all. Metals are all having shiny appearance. Okay, whereas non-metals are usually dull in appearance. But again, exception is there. Graphite is a non-metal, a form of carbon. Iodine, a non-metal which has shiny appearance. So all these things that we have discussed already last year, that you have to always remember. And again in standard 10 also you have to study all these things. So you cannot forget it anyhow. Metals are all strong and hard. Non-metals are usually weak and soft. But here in metals we have an exception: sodium, potassium, lithium. Okay. Metals are all malleable and ductile. You know, malleable means can be converted into thin sheet. Ductile means can be converted into thin wire. Whereas non-metals are brittle. Brittle means will break down into smaller pieces when struck by something or when hammered. Next property, metals are all sonorous, well known to you all. Non-metals are non-sonorous. So see, these things are not new to you since you have already studied earlier. So that is why we will be discussing it in short. Now some of the elements and their symbols we will be just going through, because this is also very important. Aluminium, symbol Al, A capital, L small. Always remember that first letter. If it has only one letter as a symbol, that will be written in capital. And if two letters are there, first letter will be the capital followed by the second with a small letter. Calcium, Ca. Copper, it is Cu, because this Cu is derived from the Latin name cuprum. Okay. Iron, the symbol is Fe, derived from ferrum. Latin name is ferrum. For magnesium, it is first two letters, Mg. Mercury, again, it is derived from the Latin word hydrargyrum, and it is Hg. For potassium, kalium, symbol is K. Kalium, Latin word. Sodium, natrium, Latin word, Na. Zinc, Zn. Gold, aurum, Au. Okay, and its physical states are mentioned over here that you all have studied last year. Mercury is liquid at normal temperature, normal room temperature. But rest of them are solid at normal room temperature. Whereas non-metals exist in all the three physical state: gas also, solid also, and liquid also. And examples are written over here. Argon, the symbol is Ar. It is a gas. Bromine, the symbol is Br. It is a liquid. Only one liquid non-metal is bromine. Only one. Carbon, the symbol is C. It is solid. Chlorine, the symbol is Cl. It is gas. Silicon, the symbol is Si. It is solid. Sulfur, the symbol is S. Again, it is solid. Hydrogen, symbol is H. It is a gas. Iodine, I. Solid. Nitrogen, N. Gas. Oxygen, O. Gas. So here you can see mostly the symbol are either the first letter of the name and or first and second letter of the name or first and third letter of the name. Listen very carefully. The symbol may be first letter of the name written in capital. Symbol may be first and second letter of the name, first capital followed by a small letter. Third rule, symbol may be first and any other letter of the name, first written in capital and the next letter in small. And the fourth rule is the symbol is derived from the Latin name that you all have seen in this metal example. Cuprum for copper, ferrum for iron, hydrargyrum for mercury, kalium for potassium, natrium for sodium, aurum for gold, argentum for silver, okay, plumbum for lead, stannum for tin. So if you try to recall, we have already discussed all these things earlier also. Okay. Now, this was all about your elements. Moving on to the next one, compounds. most elements react to form compounds. Example, H2O. Hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form water. Okay. The proportions of elements in a compound are the same irrespective of how the compound was formed. Listen very carefully, and this will be, we will be using in the third chapter again. Okay. Water. Whether you are getting water, pure water, remember, if you are getting from any source, either from underground or from rainwater or the tap water that you are getting, okay, pure I am talking about, no acid, no salt, nothing is dissolved, pure water will always have the same formula, that is H2O, and in this hydrogen and oxygen combines in the same ratio. Okay, a compound is formed by the combination of one or more elements, chemical combination of one or more elements combined in a fixed ratio by mass. This is how we define compound. Okay, the composition of a pure compound is always the same. Composition will always remain the same. It will always contain hydrogen and oxygen. 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen. NaCl, 1 atom of sodium, 1 atom of chlorine. Okay, now NaCl you take in the form of rock salt or you take table salt. If it is pure I am talking about pure, then it will always contain 1 atom of sodium and 1 atom of chlorine. Okay, now the another example is written over here, that the water is decomposed, that you all have studied last year, electrolysis of water. When electricity is passed through water, then we are getting two different gases, that is hydrogen and oxygen. So what happens over here? Splitting of water into respective elements. Water breaks down into respective elements, and this gives the idea that it is a compound. It is a pure substance, but it is a compound. Okay, and in decomposition, after decomposition, we'll find that the amount of hydrogen, okay, is always twice as that of oxygen gas. Okay, just think of the reason over here. Amount of hydrogen gas is always twice as that of oxygen gas. What does this mean? In the formula of water, there are 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. So volume of hydrogen will be more. And that is why more number of hydrogen atoms are there as compared to oxygen. So more hydrogen gas will be formed compared to oxygen, twice. The volume will be always twice. Okay, according to the formula. But if NaCl is there and it is getting decomposed, both sodium and chlorine will be formed in equal amount. Okay, that depends only on the formula, that how many hydrogen and atoms are present over there. Now, what are the characteristics of a compound? How we will identify that the given substance is a compound? And this we have to identify in this way, that it is a pure substance. Number 1, characteristic of a compound, it is a pure substance. Okay, it is always homogeneous. Remember all these things, it is always homogeneous, represented by a formula. Every compound has a particular formula. Every compound, it has a particular formula. Water, H2O. Sodium chloride, NaCl. Glucose, C6H12O6. Sugar, C12H22O11. Okay, so it is always compound, but mixture we cannot represent by any formula. Remember that even it is homogeneous mixture, we cannot represent it by a formula. Sugar in water, how we will write the formula? There is sugar also, there is water also. Salt in water, how we can write the formula? Salt is also there, water is also there. No formula is there for that. Okay, so how we will now just see how we will define a compound. It is a pure homogeneous substance which is represented by a formula. See, I mixed all these 3 characteristics. Next, there must be at least 2 different types of atoms, that is element in a compound. Minimum, there must be 2 different types of atoms. Okay, NaCl, it contains NaNCl, minimum 2, it may be 3. You see here in glucose, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, 3 elements are present. Okay, but in methane, only 2 atoms are there, 2 elements are there. In NaCl, sodium chloride, 2 elements are there. In water, H2O, 2 elements are there, hydrogen and oxygen. Next, have a fixed composition, that is what I said, and therefore a fixed ratio of atoms. Just see over here that in glucose, 6 atoms of carbon, 12 atoms of hydrogen, and again 6 atoms of oxygen. So this ratio will remain always fixed. NaCl is always written as only NaCl. We cannot write sodium chloride as Na2Cl or NaCl2, never. So that is the difference. They have a fixed composition and therefore a fixed ratio of atoms and can be always represented by a fixed formula. Okay, so this is all about the characteristic of compound. Few more are there. Just see. Elements. It is written wrong here, beta, by mistake I have done. Just see. Here we are discussing about the characteristic of elements. Elements are not easily separated by physical means. Achha, now in compound only we can write, yes. In compound characteristic, we cannot separate the elements of a compound by physical method. What does this mean? From water, hydrogen and oxygen cannot be separated by evaporation, by condensation, by distillation. We cannot do that. Okay? Next. The compound has properties quite different from the element it is formed from. देखो ध्यान से एकदम सुनोगे. That is the difference between compound and mixture. Compound has properties quite different from the element it is formed. अब just सोचो आप, just slightly you think, sodium, Na, ठीक है? Highly reactive metal. You have studied last year. Highly reactive metal. Can we eat sodium? We cannot. ठीक है? चलो दूसरा सोचो. Chlorine. Chlorine tablets are used as disinfectant. Disinfectant. Bleaching powder बनाने में chlorine use होता है. And generally chlorine tablets are used for killing the germs present in water. सोडियम का प्रॉपर्टी ऐसा है, हाईली रिएक्टिव. क्लोरीन अपना अलग प्रॉपर्टी शो कर रहा है. बट वंस दिस सोडियम एंड क्लोरीन कंबाइंस, it forms sodium chloride, and sodium chloride that is formed does not show a single properties of sodium or chlorine. Completely new substance with new properties are formed. So that is the basic thing over here, that when a compound is formed, that compound shows completely different properties than the elements it is formed from. Okay, now the next one. The formula of compound summarizes the whole number atomic ratio of what it is made up of. Example, methane. It is composed of 1 carbon atom combined with 4 hydrogen atom. I think you all have understood. Many a times I told that always it is summarized as whole number atomic ratio. कभी भी 1.5 या 2.5 नहीं दिखेगा. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 6, 12, 6, like that. Okay, always it will be a whole number ratio. Next one. The word formula can also apply to elements. We all know that hydrogen exists as a molecule, hydrogen molecule, O2, oxygen, O2, hydrogen, H2, oxygen, O2, ozone, O3, phosphorus, P4, sulfur, S8. In the third chapter, again, we will be discussing all these things. Okay, the formula can be applied even to elements also. Now just see the difference. What actually I wanted to tell you earlier. I think you all remember that red color represents lead and the blue color represents Cl, chlorine. Now, what does this represent in this figure? 1 atom of lead and 2 atoms of chlorine, PbCl2. Okay, and here you see what is this? 1 atom of lead, 4 atoms of chlorine. So it is PbCl4. Throughout in PbCl2, all the molecules will be of PbCl2 only, uniform. All the molecules which are present in lead chloride, lead 2 chloride, when the valency of lead is 2, lead 2 chloride, always it is PbCl2 and uniform. Whereas in the other one, PbCl4, lead 4 chloride, lead exists in 2 valencies, 2 also and 4 also. Okay, so when the valency is 4, then the compound lead 4 chloride is formed, and that remains uniform throughout. This is what I wanted to tell you. Uniform, homogeneous. Okay, compounds and elements are always homogeneous. We all have seen. In element, if lead was there, all lead atoms were there. In element, chlorine was there, all chlorine atoms were there. But in compound, if it is lead 2 chloride, all lead 2 chloride molecules are only there. And in lead 4 chloride, all lead 4 chloride molecules are only there. So this is what we have to always keep in mind. Okay. Now, this is not so important for you. So I am skipping all these things. What is important that we will be discussing. Examples of some formula. Some compounds and their formula. Compound and formula. And some elements are also having the formula. Water, H2O. Sodium hydroxide, NaOH. Calcium carbonate, CaCO3. See, all these things you have to practice. Ethanol, C2H5OH. Sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Barium nitrate, BaNO3 Very few examples are written here. There are many compounds. Element, certain elements are existing in the form of molecule. Hydrogen H2, oxygen O2, chlorine Cl2, nitrogen N2, fluorine F2, bromine Br2. But can sodium has a formula? We'll say no. Sodium has a symbol Na because it does not exist in the form of molecule. Those elements which exist in the form of molecule, either diatomic or 2 atoms are there or 3 atoms are there like ozone, or 4 atoms are there combined together, then they are only represented by this formula. Otherwise, zinc, Zn, symbol of element zinc. Iron, Fe, symbol of element iron, and so on. Now, heterogeneous mixture are not uniform throughout. This we have already discussed. Ayushi, stop your video. Homogeneous mixtures are uniform throughout. Homogeneous mixtures are also called solution. Okay, all these we have already discussed yesterday. And just see the mixture here. Just see what is the difference. Mixture, lead and chlorine, both are there. They both are. There is no chemical combination. No compound is formed. Some chlorine atoms and some lead atoms are just mixed physically. हाथ से थोड़ा lead, थोड़ा chlorine मिला के रख दिए. Lead भी है वहाँ पे chlorine भी है, दोनों है. So it is a mixture. There is no uniform composition. Okay, they are not mixed chemically. There is no chemical combination. Same way, if 2 different compounds are mixed together. Just example, this one is your lead 4 chloride and this one is your lead 2 chloride. They both are again mixed. There is no particular ratio and we can separate them easily. Okay? Just for example, consider that this red one, abhi lead wala bhul jao, just socho ki ye red one is iron. Okay, and this blue one is sand. Can we separate iron from sand? By physical means? Answer will be yes, we can. So this is what actually the difference between mixture and compound.